Aloha everybody, and welcome to Vinyasa Yoga. This class will run about 60 minutes long, and my name is Katie. This is Bradley, and we're going to get deep into our hips today and a nice little flow, mostly through the outer hips. And all you'll need today is your mat, so go ahead and grab your mat if you haven't already. Get a nice comfortable space, and we're going to begin on our backs today. So as you're ready, take your feet together, knees apart, and we're just going to lie down onto our back. So go ahead and meet me in reclined butterfly on your back. Take those feet together, knees open out wide, and just let your palms rest by your sides. Palms can face up. And just close your eyes here. As we come into this initial posture, just allow yourself to take that first scan of the body and just notice how you feel in this moment. So just feel those feet press in towards one another as your knees open out wide, giving a nice stretch to the inner thigh and the inner hip. The low back is just slightly lifted from the earth, letting those hips open as you lift through your heart. So just shimmy your shoulders up under your back a little bit more so you can lift your chest towards the sky. Take a slight lift with your chin so you just open through the throat. And take that awareness all the way up to the point between your eyebrows. And this is where we'll begin to breathe deeply in through our nose and out through our nose. Just beginning to cultivate that ujjayi breathing. So let's all take a big inhale in through the nose. Fill your belly up with breath. And then take a big exhale out through the nose. Let your belly retract back towards your spine. Beautiful. Let's inhale in through the nose. Fill your belly, fill your lungs. And a big exhale out through the nose. Let everything retract back in. And just begin to deepen your breath here. So as you inhale in, elongate that breath even more. Deepen the breath, broaden the breath. And as you exhale, let that breath completely go, smooth as it came in. Let it release. Let's take 2 more big belly breaths. Inhale in. And exhale out, let it go. 1 more like that. Make this your deepest one yet. In through the nose. And out through the nose. Good. Continuing this pattern of breath on your own, in and out through the nose. Let's begin to set an intention for our practice today. And maybe that's a dedication to someone or something other than yourself. Or maybe it's for your mother, since today is Mother's Day. So maybe you dedicate this class to her, or you are a mother and this is time for you to take on your mat and just have some nice self-care. 1 more big breath. And just begin to close your knees together like a book. So take those knees up close towards one another. Hug your knees towards your chest. Just a gentle little hug here. Decompress through the low back. Feel a nice stretch through the tailbone. And then lower your left foot back down to the earth. Extend your right leg straight up to the sky. And begin to bend your right knee. Take your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. And press your right knee away with your hand. So you want to press that knee away so you really get deep in your hip. Flex your right foot. Keep your shoulders down on the earth. You should just feel a nice stretch through the hips here. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Let it go. Let's extend that right leg to the sky. Extend up high and then switch sides. So lower your right foot down. Extend your left leg to the sky. Flex that left foot. Take your left ankle to the top of your right thigh. Left hand Just press it along the inside of that left knee. So you're just pressing the knee away, shoulders stay down on the earth. You should feel a nice stretch through that hip. And keep that left arm just like extended so that you're pressing your shoulder down into the mat as you press your left knee away. Nice job. Let's slowly release this. Inhale your left leg to the sky, reach it up, flex that left foot, and then lower your left foot down to meet the right. Just keep your knees bent. Hug both knees in towards your chest, give them a squeeze. And then extend your left leg forward. Hug your right knee towards your chest. Feel your shoulders plant down on the earth as you pull your right knee closer towards your heart space. And now take your right hand to reach for the outer blade of your right foot, left hand to your left hip for half happy baby. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, just pull that left knee to the outside of your rib cage. Feel your shoulder ground down towards the earth. Feel a deep stretch in your inner hip. Good. Now slowly release this. Let's just take both knees towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. Extend your right leg long. Hug your left knee towards your chest. Give it a nice squeeze as you pull your left knee towards your heart space. Shoulders stay on the earth. And then let's come into that half happy baby pose. So left hand grabs a hold of the left foot as you pull the left knee to the outer rib cage. Your right hand is on your right hip. Half happy baby pose. Full breath in. And exhale, release, pull that knee closer. Good. Let's slowly release that left foot. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. Take a big breath in. Take your hands underneath your knees. And as you exhale, just begin to rock forward and back. Massage your spine. So take about 3 rounds here. Use your momentum to roll along the spine, and as you make that last round, cross your ankles, shift forward, and just come into your tabletop position. Keep your shoulders right over your wrists, hips over your knees. Gaze down between the thumbs. And we're just going to keep moving our hips side to side here. So press your right hip out to the right and arch through that right side waist. Maybe even dip your left ear to your left shoulder. Inhale back through center. And as you exhale, dip your left hip over to the left. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder so you just feel a nice stretch through that left side waist. Good. Inhale back through center, side to side at your own pace now. And you can take it even more into your head and neck if you wish. Taking your ear to each shoulder, side to side. And just get a nice side stretch and into that left hip and right hip. Good. Then we'll meet back through center. Hands right underneath the shoulders. Move through our cat-cow breath. So as you inhale, roll your shoulders back, tailbone high to the sky, cow pose, look up. And as you exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin, arch your spine, look between your thighs, cat pose. Good. Inhale, open your heart forward, lift through the chest, look up. And exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin, arch your spine. Inhale, cow pose. One more round for each. Shoulders back, look up. And exhale, cats. Curl up and in. Really press through the shoulder blades up towards the sky. Nice job. Let's come back through a neutral spine. Gaze down between the thumbs. Inhale. Reach your right arm to the sky. Now bend your right elbow and take your right hand to the back of your head. Roll your right elbow back so you kind of get a nice opening through the chest. You have to work a little bit harder than just extending your right arm open. So you'll feel a nice stretch through the front of that right shoulder. Deep breath in. Now as you exhale, let's take our right elbow all the way towards our left wrist and just tap the wrist. Inhale, open back up. Roll your right shoulder back. And as you exhale, let's just tap that left wrist. Good. Inhale, reach up, open out. And exhale, just tap. Now as you inhale, let's extend our right arm all the way up to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back, look up. This time as you exhale, let's thread it on through. Take that right arm all the way over to the left. Lower that right shoulder down. Press your hips back. Feel a nice stretch through your low back all the way in towards your shoulder blades. Deep breath here. If you want more, left arm to the sky and just let it tuck behind your low back, maybe even around the front of your right hip. Nice. Now as you inhale, take that left arm back to the sky. Lower that left hand to the earth. Take a big breath in. Right arm reaches all the way up. Open out. Roll your right shoulder back. And let's meet back in tabletop position. Pause here. Inhale, extend that left arm to the sky. So same thing, let's take our left hand to the back of the head, elbow to the sky. So press your hips back evenly as you rotate that left shoulder back, elbow points up high. You should feel a deep stretch through the front of the chest as you open out, big inhale. Now as you exhale, let's softly take that left elbow to the right wrist and just tap that wrist. Inhale, open back up, roll the left shoulder back. Exhale, flow and tap that left elbow to the right wrist. Inhale, open and extend, roll your left shoulder back. One more time, exhale, thread it through to that right wrist as you take your left elbow. Now as you inhale, we're gonna extend that left arm back up to the sky, open out. And as you exhale, thread that left arm through this time. Take your left shoulder all the way down to the earth. Nice. And we're getting a nice deep stretch in the low back now. And through that left shoulder blade. So you can stay right here, especially if you did on the other side. If you want a little bit more in the shoulders, take your right arm to the sky. And take that right arm behind your back and tuck it around the front of your left hip. Good. Roll your right shoulder back. And as you inhale next, extend your right arm to the sky. Lower your right hand down. Take a big breath in. Roll your left shoulder back as you extend that left arm to the sky. Reach up high. And we'll all meet in tabletop position. Nice. So gaze down between your thumbs. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips towards your heels. And then lift your hips towards the sky, downward facing dog. So in your first downward dog, just pedal those feet out, sway side to side, maybe shift forward and back over the feet. Just take some time here to move into your first downward dog. Relax the head and neck, maybe even sway side to side. Good. So we're just going to come back through center, settle in. Take your hands, shoulders width distance, spread your fingers wide. Hips are the highest point on your mat, so you're that mountain looking pose. So you're in like a V shape. Lift through those hips, big breath. Now as you exhale, take both heels, take them over to the right. So you're dipping your hips over to the right and turning your toes to the left. You should feel a nice stretch through that left side. Let's come back through center and dip the heels to the left, toes to the right. You'll feel a nice stretch through that right side waist. Good, inhale, back through center. One more time each side, dip your heels to the right. And back through center, dip your heels to the left. Inhale back through center, downward facing dog. As you exhale, look forward and just begin to step your feet up to the top of your mat. Take your feet all the way up until they come between your wrists. Keep your feet hips width distance. Bend your knees a lot here. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Now as you exhale, walk your hands over to the left. So you're just going to crawl those hands over, but keep your hips pressing back evenly. So you'll feel a stretch through that right side rib cage. Good. Inhale, walk those hands back through center. And exhale over to the right. So you're just crawling those hands over, tense your fingers. Knees are bent, hips press back evenly. So that left hip might want to come forward. Just pull it back. You'll feel that deep stretch through the left side of the waist. Good. Let's inhale back through center. Lengthen halfway up, lift. Now as you exhale, bend both knees deeply. Take your left hand down to the earth. Right arm up to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. Good. Let your right shoulder open back. Hips press back evenly. Begin to lengthen your right leg, deepen your twist. Open out. Good. Now slowly soften both knees down. Take your right hand down. Inhale. And exhale, take that left arm to the sky. Roll your left shoulder back. And just begin to lengthen that left leg as you twist open to the left. You should feel a deep stretch in that outer hip. Lengthen through your spine, twist through the low back. Deep breath in. Good, and exhale it out. Come back through center, bend both knees. Tuck your chin towards your chest. And as you inhale, let's unravel the spine. Come all the way up to standing. Take your time. Let each vertebrae open up as you come all the way up to standing. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and open them down the back. Tadasana pose. So in our equal standing pose, ground through your feet. So your feet are right underneath your hips. Engage through the legs. So you should feel a lift through your kneecaps as you engage your quads. There's a slight tuck of the tailbone just so that your pelvis is tilting just slightly so it's resting nicely in that pelvic bowl. Take a low belly pull in. Take the ribs pull in. Take the heart to lift high as the shoulders peel back. And just extend up through the crown of the head. Now as you inhale, let's lift our arms up to the sky. Big breath in. Now listen as you exhale, let's twist to the right. Keep your hips facing forward. Right hand reaches back behind you. Roll your right shoulder back. Look back at that right thumb. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Look up high. Same thing, exhale, twist to the left. Reach that left arm back behind you. Keep your hips pressing forward. Roll your left shoulder back. Inhale, both arms rise high to the sky. Look up, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Drop your head back, bend your elbows. Squeeze through your shoulder blades. Look up to the sky. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, swan dive forward. Soften your knees. Come all the way down to the earth. Relax your head and neck. Take an inhale, lengthen halfway up. Fingertips graze your shins or even your thighs or the mat. Exhale, plant your palms. Step your feet back, high plank pose. Take an inhale in. And as you exhale, let's lower our knees down to the mat. Walk your hands forward for puppy dog pose. Let your heart melt down, gaze forward, shoulders back. Eventually, chin and chest are down on the mat as your shoulders roll back. Now, as you take your next inhale, let's shift onto our forearms. Slide your knees back. Come through for Sphinx pose. So your elbows are just slightly in front of your shoulders. Shoulders roll back, create some traction through your forearms. Lift through your heart forward, shoulders peel back. And then as you exhale, let's lower our heart down, tense your hands to the outside of your mat and begin to roll your shoulders side to side. Good, maybe even take your chin towards one shoulder and then the other, getting a deep twist. And a stretch through the head and the neck, just opening up through that thoracic spine. Let this feel good. Get all those little creaks out, especially because this might be the first time today you've done some real dynamic movement through those joints. So keep it slow or quick, whatever feels right, through your spine and through your shoulders. Good. Let's come back through center. Take your hands right under the shoulders with your elbows pointing back. Lift through your heart. Deep breath in, cobra pose. Let your shoulders draw down and away. Just gaze slightly out in front of your mat. Exhale, tuck your toes, press your hips towards your heels. And then lift your hips to the sky for your downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. Step or lightly hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift flat spine. And exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, tuck your chin. Let's unravel the spine. Come all the way up to standing. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and then open them down the back. Expand your heart forward. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, mountain pose. Exhale, twist to the right, roll your right shoulder back, open to the right. Inhale, back through center, arms to the sky. Exhale, twist to the left, left arm down and opening out. Inhale, back through center, reach your arms high to the sky, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend, roll your shoulders down your back, squeeze through your shoulder blades, look up. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, soften your knees as you forward fold all the way down towards the earth. Relax your head and neck. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. And exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose, engage your core, inhale. And exhale, knees to the mat, walk your hands forward, melt your chest down, look forward, puppy dog pose. Inhale, shift onto your forearms, slide your knees back, pull your heart through, Sphinx pose. Exhale, lower your chest, tense your hands to the outside of your mat. Roll those shoulders side to side. And let's come back through center, hands right under the shoulders. Inhale, lift through your heart, shoulders back. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips to your heels. Lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in and full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward, step or even lightly hop all the way up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. And exhale, forward fold. Take your feet together, bend your knees deeply. Inhale, begin to swoop your arms up to the sky for chair pose. Relax those shoulders down the back, feel the weight pull back in towards your heels. Squeeze through your inner thighs as you roll your shoulders down your back. Good, now let's inhale, just lift through your heart. Exhale, right arm swoops down, look back, twist. Inhale, back through center, reach your arms high. Exhale, left arm swoops down, twist, roll your left shoulder back. Inhale, reach both arms high. Exhale, hands to the earth, hips high, relax your head and neck, fold in. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. And exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take a breath in, engage your core. This time, as you exhale, we're gonna lower down through chaturanga. Keep those elbows pointing back, lower halfway. Inhale, lengthen your arms, shoulders back, lift your thighs, lengthen those arms as the shoulders open, your heart forward. And then exhale, roll back through your toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Now inhale, take your right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Reach your right knee high as you open through the inner thigh and that right hip. And you can take a few little circles here if you want to just open through the joint, just to feel that first opening through three-legged dog. And then inhale, reach that right knee high. As you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Keep your back knee lifted. Left hand tented down on the inside of your right foot. Inhale your right arm to the sky as you roll your right shoulder back. So you're twisting open to the right. So you really want to open your chest back as you roll your right shoulder back. Pull your right knee towards your chest. Feel a deep stretch through the outer right hip. Ground into that right foot. Now listen, as you inhale, we're gonna rise all the way up, but you're gonna be reaching back. Look back at that right thumb. So you come up into your twist. Nice job. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Sink it in. Now as you inhale next, reach up and back. Reverse. So your left arm is reaching up to the sky. Your right hand is reaching down your back leg. Good. Now as you exhale, windmill those hands down to the mat. Right foot, just send it all the way back up to the sky through three-legged dog. If you would like to take a chaturanga through up dog to down dog, you can do so here. We'll all meet in downward dog. Let's move on to that other side. So inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. So for this first opening, just let that knee open out, maybe even take some circles through the ankle or the knee. Get a nice deep opening through the hips and shoulders. On your next inhale, let your left knee rise up high. And then exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Right hand, tent it down right under your right shoulder. Inhale. And then exhale, open. Let that left arm rise to the sky. Roll your left shoulder back. Good. Keep that back knee lifted, strong and straight. Stack your shoulders. Gaze up towards the sky. Pull that left knee towards your chest. Good. And now we're slowly going to come up into our twist. So you want to ground through that left foot. Inhale, begin to rise up into your twist. Good job. That's a lot of strength in those legs. So feel a lift through your chest as you roll your left shoulder back. Look out past that left thumb. Stay deep in your front knee. Good. Now as you inhale, we're going to reach up and back. So our left hand reaches down our back leg. Right arm reaches all the way up and back. Square your hips forward. Good. Deep breath, reach. And then exhale, windmill those hands all the way down to the mat. Send your left foot back all the way up through three-legged dog. If you choose to take a vinyasa, do so now. Let that left knee reach high. And we'll all meet in downward dog. Full breath in here. And full breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway up lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Chair pose. Exhale, let's just sink lower. Now as you take your next inhale, let's lift our left knee towards our chest. Both knees are bent. Relax your shoulders. Take your left ankle to the top of your right thigh. And let that left knee open out. You want to sit low in that right knee. Flex your left foot. Take your hands to heart center. Sit low in that right leg. So you'll feel a deep stretch in that left outer hip. Good, get low. Bend your right knee. Nice, and now let's inhale our left knee back towards our chest, arms to the sky. Exhale, place that left foot down to meet the right. We'll switch sides. Inhale, right knee towards your chest. And then exhale, bend that left knee. Flex your right foot. Take that right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Sit down low. You can take your hands to heart center. You're letting your tailbone press back behind you. So there's a slight back bend in this pose. Flex your right foot, get lower in that left leg, ground into your left foot, deep breath in. Good, deep breath out, stay with it. Inhale that right knee back towards your chest, arms to the sky, sit back into your chair pose. And exhale, hips high, fold in, relax your head and neck down. Inhale, lengthen halfway, uplift. And exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take an inhale and plank. And as you exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back, upward dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Now as you inhale, let's extend that right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. As you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Left hand down, inhale, open out, roll your right shoulder back. Now as you exhale, press your right foot into the earth, rise up, twist open. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse your crescent pose. Exhale, windmill, hands down. Send your right foot all the way back up to the sky, reach it up high, maybe even bend your knees, stack open. And exhale, we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Switch sides, move with your breath. Inhale, left leg to the sky, bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Right hand is down, left arm to the sky. Inhale. And as you exhale, rise up, ground into that left foot, reach back. As you inhale, reach up and back, reverse your crescent pose, your high lunge. And then exhale, windmill, hands down to the mat. Left foot sends all the way back up to the sky, reach it up high. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full round of breath here. And a full round of breath out. Good, let's come down onto our knees. And we're gonna turn to the right on our mat, or you can face me, whichever side has your computer or phone, whatever you're on today. And you're gonna take the mat lengthwise and just fold it in half. So what we're doing here is we're just creating some padding for our knees. We're about to come into frog pose, which is a deep hip stretch, especially for the inner hip and groin. So come onto your knees. Move my mat forward. Come onto your knees. Knees are hips width distance. All right, so start here with those knees hips width and just begin to walk your knees out, hands down. Slowly take your knees out wider. Flex through your feet. You want the inner arches of your feet to be on the ground. So you can see my feet there. Good, yeah, they're flexed. Arches down on the earth. And let those knees open out as wide as feels appropriate for you. So you might be right here with your hands under your shoulders. You might open your knees out even more and come down onto your forearms or even a block here. Wherever you are, you want your knees in a 90-degree bend. So your legs are in a 90-degree bend. Knee is directly out from your hip. So we have a tendency to kind of move back or forward out of the pose. You want your femur bone to be a straight line to your knee. And then from there, your shin is straight down and your foot is flexed. So as you're here, you're gonna feel a deep stretch in that inner hip and inner thigh. Try to relax the head and neck, relax the hands. Use that padding of your mat on the inner knee. If it still feels uncomfortable, you can always take pillows or blankets underneath the knees for this pose to let it feel more comfortable so you can just kind of sink into it. Let's take another full round of breath here. And a full exhale out. Take your time. Let's slowly come up. Walk your hands up. Take your knees to come back and slowly come in. Good. Now just come off of that folded mat space. Take your mat back to normal. Rearrange yourself. We're gonna come into child's pose with our knees closed, toes together, back behind you, and just press your hips back. Extend your arms forward. Relax your head down. And just feel a nice relaxation through those shoulders, the low back, and the hips. Let's take a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. Good. Inhale, shift forward onto hands and knees. Tuck your toes behind you and press your hips towards the sky. Downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg high, bend your right knee, stack your hips open. And as you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, crescent pose. Inhale our arms up to the sky. Now as you exhale, we're going to flow through a twist. So swoop your right arm down. Take your left elbow towards the outside of your right knee. Right arm reaches back. Good. Inhale, both arms rise back up to the sky. Really ground through that right foot. Exhale, twist. Take that left elbow towards the outside of your right knee. Reach back. Inhale, back through center. One more time. Exhale, twist. Left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Reach back, roll your right shoulder back. Inhale, both arms rise up to the sky. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. Lengthen your right leg. If you need to adjust that back foot, step it forward slightly. Do so here. We're gonna heel toe our right foot out to the right slightly. Ground through that back heel. Square your hips forward. Lift through your heart, shoulders back. Now as you exhale, hinge forward, square hips. So I'm holding onto my hips so I keep them square. Lift through your heart forward, reach, 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 reach. Create length through the spine. And then relax your head and neck as you take your hands either down on some blocks, the earth, or you hold onto your shin for balance. Wherever you are, you're reaching through your heart towards your leg. Pyramid pose. So that back heel is grounded. Your head and neck is relaxed. Deep breath in here. And deep breath out. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Good. Now as you inhale, lengthen halfway up. Keep your left hand down. Right hand, take it to your right hip. Press your right hip back. So you might stay right here as you rotate your right shoulder back. And this is where you twist in your revolved triangle pose. You might even have that left hand on a block or even a book, whatever you can find to bring that earth closer to you. If you do want to move further in your revolved triangle, take your right arm to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. Keep that right hip pressing back. You should feel a deep stretch through that right piriformis all the way down the hamstring. Roll that right shoulder back, big breath in. And exhale, let's lower both hands down to the earth. Step your left foot back a little bit further. Come onto those back toes. Lower your back knee down. Shift your hips back, flex your right foot. Take an inhale, lengthen your heart forward. Again, you can have your hands on your hips. You can have your hands on blocks or books or down on the earth as you fold forward. Take this practice to your degree today. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Nice job. Let's inhale, shift forward, low lunge. And let's heel toe our right foot over to our left wrist. Lower your right knee down to your right wrist, setting up for pigeon pose. Extend your left leg back behind you. Square your hips forward, lift through your heart. And as you exhale, slowly crawl in. Now remember, if there's anything going on in that right knee, just come on to your back. for thread the needle, or that same pose that we did in the beginning of class with that figure 4. We're getting deep into that piriformis here, to the outer hip, into the low back. A lot of these poses that we've been doing through class are great and really therapeutic for those who have sciatica pain. Just take them slowly. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, take your time. Slowly walk those hands up. Tuck your back toes. Send your right leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog and really circle that knee out. Get the blood flow back into that hip. We just got some deep stretches in the hip. Right, let's lower that right foot down to meet the left. Inhale your left leg high to the sky. Bend your knee, stack your hips open. And exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Keep your back knee lifted. Inhale, crescent pose. Now as you exhale, we're gonna twist with a flow. So exhaling that right elbow to the outside of your left knee, reach back with that left hand. Inhale, rise high, crescent pose. Exhale, twist, take that right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Inhale, high. One more time. Exhale, twist, just tap this elbow to the knee. Inhale, rise high. Now this time, let's take our hands to our hips. Lengthen that left leg. Step your right foot slightly forward. Ground through that right heel. So that back foot's at about a 45-degree angle. Square your hips forward. So manually take your hands to your hips. Move your right hip forward, left hip back. Keep your hands on your hips as you inhale, lift your heart. And as you exhale, hinge forward. So you might be right here. You're like, man, I feel a deep stretch right here. Stay right here. That's totally fine. Keep your hips square and in line. As you begin to reach your heart more forward, maybe your hands want to come down and rest on blocks or books. And maybe they're on the earth by your shin as you fold towards that left leg. And it's totally okay if there's a slight bend in that left knee. Just keep your hips squared off. So you want to pull that left hip back, right hip forward. Create length through your spine here. This is a deep outer hip stretch as well as hamstring stretch. And you may even feel it in your low back. Good. Slowly inhale, lengthen halfway up. Keep your right hand down to the inside of your left foot. So it might be on a block or book. And then take your left hand to your left hip. We're setting up for our revolved triangle pose. So you might be right here, just pressing that left hip back and lengthening your spine forward. So you want to really create length and reach through your spine. Maybe you take your left hand to the sky as you revolve open. And if you need to adjust your feet and take your foot up closer or out wider, that's totally fine to get those hips to square off. That's the most important thing here so that you feel that stretch through that left piriformis. Roll your left shoulder back, stack your shoulders, deep breath in. Beautiful job. Let's take that left hand down to the earth. Send your right foot back further. So step it back, come onto those back toes. Lower your right knee. Shift your hips back, flex that left foot. Take your hands to your hips, lengthen your spine, square off through those hips. And as you exhale, let's fold in towards that left leg. Relax your head and neck. Again, come to your degree in this pose. You might have those hips squared off and folding over the leg, or maybe your hands are on your hips. Hands can even be on blocks. deep breath in. And deep breath out. Remember your intention as you breathe. Good. Let's inhale, shift forward. We're going to set up for our pigeon pose. So heel toe your left foot all the way over towards your right wrist. Send your right leg back as you take that left heel closer towards your right hip. Square your hips off in front of you. Lift through your chest, deep inhale. And as you exhale, maybe begin to forward fold. Come to the forearms, the block, your hands, your chest. So keep those hips squared off. And again, if anything feels off in your left knee, come onto your back for thread the needle or another variation of pigeon pose. With every pose in yoga, I'm just guiding you through a series of poses that's therapeutic, but everybody is different. There's always something different about your body and your practice. And just allow yourself to observe that. That's part of the practice of yoga. So let's take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last inhale and exhale. So big breath in. And big breath out. Let's take our time. Walk those hands up. Tuck your back toes. Send your left leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog. Maybe big circles. Open it out. Nice job. Let's take our left foot down to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Full breath in through the nose. Let's exhale it out the mouth. Let it go. Lower your knees down towards the earth. Sit your hips back towards your heels. And just sway to either side. Take your hips down and extend your legs out long in front of you. Flex through your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, lift through your heart, hinge forward. Begin to hinge over the legs as your feet are flexed. So you want your legs engaged, but then as you exhale, you can just release your arms down to the earth, palms face up on either side, so that you're just kind of surrendering towards the legs. This is a nice opening through your low back, through your hamstrings. And as you tuck your chin, maybe even up through the cervical vertebrae, you might feel a stretch up into the occipital region. That's right underneath in the skull region there, into the back of the neck. Good. Now slowly take your time. Unravel. Take your hands by your sides. Scoot your hips all the way up towards your heels. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Inhale, reach your arms high. Now listen as you exhale. Left hand comes to the top of your right foot. Right hand back behind you. Sit up tall. Take a little twist here. So ground through those hips. Lift up. Twist. Good. Inhale, back through center. Reach your arms high. And as you exhale, let's twist to the opposite side. Left hand down, right hand to the top of your left foot. As you lift up, roll that left shoulder back and twist. Good. Inhale, back through center. Reach your arms up high. And exhale, hinge forward, bow in. So you might take your hands just around your feet. Maybe your arms reach forward wherever you are. Your elbows can even press your thighs away from one another, kind of opening into the inner hip even more. As you inhale in, deep into the belly, let that exhale breath melt those hips closer to the earth. Good. Now inhale, rise up, reach your arms forward. We're gonna roll all the way down onto our spine, just like we began class, all the way in reclined butterfly pose. Begin to close your knees together like a book. Take your heels close up towards your hips. Ground through those feet. Fingertips are able to touch your heels. That's how you know your heels are close to your hips, and hips with distance. Ground through those feet as you press your hips towards the sky. Tuck your chin towards your chest. You should feel a nice stretch through the fronts of the thighs, through the hip, and through the back of the neck and shoulder blades. Press those hips high. Keep your knees, hips with distance. And then slowly lower your hips down. Take your time, unravel your spine. Let your low back touch the ground first. Feel that groundedness. And then maybe you begin to move as you windshield wipe the knees. Come back into releasing the low back. And let's take our knees towards our chest. And we'll work into happy baby pose. So we did half happy baby on each side in the beginning of class. And now we're going to work into full. So the hands will come on either side of the feet. Bend your knees to the outsides of your rib cage. And maybe rock side to side. Good. Extend your legs to the sky, release your arms down, and we're just gonna shake our legs out. Make them like jello. Get that blood flow to release from the feet down into the legs. And this is just a simple inversion. If you would like to practice any other inversion before we come into our final resting pose, you're always welcome to come into anything you'd like, whether it's a shoulder stance, a headstand. Any kind of inversion for 5 to 10 breaths will allow the blood flow to come from the feet to the head to the heart. And it relieves a lot of stress from the body, stress from the heart. And take another full breath here. You can roll those ankles out like I am here. It feels nice through the feet. Good. Begin to bend your knees. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. And then begin to take your forehead up towards your knees. Curl up into a tiny little ball. Big breath in. Squeeze. And as you exhale, let everything go. Let your toes drop out. Let your palms face up. Find a nice, comfortable position down on the ground. Just laying down with your eyes closed. Let go of all control. Now you can stay here as long as you wish. In fact, I recommend that you stay here for at least 5 minutes or so. But if you would like to move about with your day, you can begin to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. And begin to rock your head side to side. And as you're ready, maybe you roll off onto one side or the other, coming into a fetal position. Treating this like you are waking up for the first time today. And as you come up into an easy seated position, keep your eyes closed, move softly. And we'll all meet with our hands at heart center. Bow your chin in. Take a moment here to express gratitude and honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed practice. Let me know if you want to see anything specific in classes. You can send me a message on Katie Marie Yoga on my Instagram, or even comment here on YouTube. If you liked these classes and you want to know more and you want to keep seeing these videos, hit subscribe, hit like, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much, and aloha.
Yesterday we followed the road of the moon. We drove all day towards the